Dear learners, I am Dr. Sumana Bhattacharya from Department of Commerce and Financial Studies, Atal Bihari Vajpayee Vishwavidyalaya, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh. In this video lecture, I will be talking about the topic Functionaries on Stock Exchanges, Part 3. This topic is from the subject Financial Market Operations Unit number 4 of BCom Part 3. So dear students, this is my third video lecture. I will like to repeat what I have dealt in the part 1 and part 2 of this lecture series. In video lecture part 1, you have learned about the introduction to stock exchange, its characteristics and functions, functionaries / intermediaries on stock exchanges, and type of brokers. In video lecture part 2, you have learned in detail about the sub-brokers and market makers. In this video lecture part 3, you will learn in detail about the another two functionaries or intermediaries or on stock exchange, that is jobbers and portfolio consultants. Jobbers. This is another functionary or intermediary on stock exchange. Let us understand the role of jobbers in the stock exchange. Jobbers are also called the stock jobbers, acting as or acted as market makers. They held shares on their own books and create market liquidity by buying and selling securities and matching investors to buy and sell orders through their brokers who were not allowed to make markets. So by this 2 points, you can understand that jobbers' role is very similar to the brokers, but not specifically matching with the brokers in real aspect. So what exactly they are doing? The jobbers are trading the shares in their own books, okay, and they also maintain or create the market liquidity by buying and selling securities. But they do this particular work through their brokers. Through their brokers, that means they are not the intermediate person between the exchange and the investor. Basically, like they are somewhat like the market makers, and they basically work again under the brokers on freelance basis. The jobbers deal in limited number of securities. Now let me again explain. The jobbers are professional, independent brokers engaged in buying and selling of specified securities in their own name. But jobbers cannot deal on behalf of public and are barred from taking commission. So jobbers are restricted from dealing on behalf of public, and they cannot take commission from them. They deal with brokers who in turn transact on behalf of public. This is the very important part, that is, the jobbers deal with brokers, and they the brokers in turn deal or transact on behalf of the public. So a jobber basically is concerned with the brokers independently. Then a jobber deals in a limited number of securities which he tracks regularly. So a broker can basically deal with n number of securities of the stock exchange on behalf of the public. But when we talk about a jobber, the job of a jobber is to track a limited number of security which he is tracking regularly. Then double barreled price. This is the process through which the jobber earns his income. The jobbers generally quote two prices, one at which he is prepared to purchase and the other at which he is prepared to sell a security. This two-way price is known as double-barreled price. The difference between the two prices is known as the jobber's turn. Then this term jobber is also used to describe a small scale wholesaler or middleman in the retail goods trading. So don't be confused with this term. This jobber term is also used for the retail goods trading in the wholesale market. Okay, but here whatever we are talking about jobbers is related to his function in the stock exchange. Here I will like to focus on the history of jobbers very briefly. In the early 19th century, London had hundreds of jobbing firms. Jobbing firms means, again I would like to clarify, the jobbers used to quote two types of prices. They used to deal with the brokers, and the brokers in turn used to deal with the investors and the investors, or on behalf of the investors in the stock exchange. Okay, so in the early 19th century, what happened? London had hundreds of jobbing firms. Now the jobbers numbers declined dramatically over the course of 20th century until they ceased to exist in October 1986. This October 1986 was a remarkable day, historical day, when the jobbers number declined very much at a higher number and almost ceased to exist in the market. This month was when the Big Bang, a major shift in London Stock Exchange operation, occurred. What kind of shift? London's financial sector was suddenly deregulated. Fixed commissions were replaced by negotiated commissions, and electronic trading was implemented. So very importantly, electronic trading was implemented, the commission system was changed, the financial sector was deregulated, and this all scenario is termed as Big Bang, that is a major shift in London Stock Exchange operation. During this time only, the decline of the jobbers number started and almost ceased to exist in the stock exchange. So this is about a brief history of jobbers in the London Stock Exchange. So now let us, since the profile of the jobber and the broker resembles but has a huge difference among them, so let us understand systematically the difference between a jobber and a broker. A jobber is a special mercantile agent. He is a special mercantile agent because his job is to work for the broker. He cannot be a direct agent of the public in the exchange, whereas a broker is a general mercantile agent. His function is to invest on behalf of the client directly in the stock exchange. Secondly, a jobber is a dealer who deals in buying and selling of securities on his own account for brokers, because he cannot sell down to the public directly. Whereas broker is an agent who deals in buying and selling of securities on behalf of his client directly through the exchange. Okay, so one is working for jobber, another is working for the investor. Thirdly, a jobber carries out trading activities only with the broker, and the broker carries out trading activities with the jobber on behalf of his investors. Okay, so a jobber will carry out the activities only with the broker, but a broker will carry out his activities with the jobber on behalf of his investors, in the stock exchange. Okay. Then the fourth and the very important point of difference is a jobber is prohibited to directly buy or sell securities in stock exchange, and he also cannot directly deal with the investor. He is not registered either in the stock exchange or with the SEBI. Whereas a broker acts as a link between the jobber and the investor. He trades, that is buys and sells securities on behalf of its investors. So, a broker is in between the jobber and the investor for the stock exchange. Okay. Then a jobber gets consideration in the form of profit. It is his business, so he will earn a profit, whereas a broker gets consideration of commission or brokerage. So these are 5 points of difference between a jobber and a broker. So the next in stock exchange intermediary we will be discussing about is the portfolio consultant. So first let us understand what is a portfolio. A portfolio is a grouping of financial assets such as stocks, bonds, commodities, currencies and cash equivalents, as well as their fund counterparts including mutual, exchange traded and closed funds. Okay, so what is a portfolio? It is a grouping of all financial assets, may include all the stocks, all the bonds, equities, currencies, mutual funds, everything, whatever we are acquiring as an investment through our cash, that is cash and cash equivalents, that is grouped in a single term called portfolio. Okay, so it consists of non-publicly tradable securities. A portfolio can also consist of non-publicly tradable securities like real assets, art and private investments. Okay, so if you are investing in real assets, then also it can be a part of your portfolio because you are investing a part of your, maybe a part of your savings. Then portfolios are held directly by investors and or managed by financial professionals and money managers. So we will understand this, that who basically holds and looks after the portfolio. So portfolios are managed directly either by the investor himself or he will appoint one financial professional to look after his portfolio. That means whatever surplus he is having for the purpose of investment, and wherever he is investing, either in equities or in bonds or in real estate, is basically taken care of as a group of financial assets which is called portfolio. And who takes care of it? Either he himself will take care of it or he will appoint a he will appoint a manager or professional to take care of it. Okay. Now we come to the actual part, that is actual intermediary, that is the portfolio consultants. The portfolio consultants are also known as investment consultants. These investment consultants are the persons who give intellectual advisory to the investor for constructing an investment portfolio in accordance with their risk tolerance, and investing objectives with respect to time horizon. So I have talked about two particular terms over here. One is risk tolerance, another is time horizon. The basic function of portfolio consultant is to give an intellectual advisory to the investor that portfolio must consist of such investments which are able to tolerate the market risk, which will be able to fulfill the objectives of the investment, and it must be in respect to the time horizon. The investor can also have multiple portfolios for various purposes. The purpose can be anything. The purpose can be, making a new infrastructure. The purpose can be something personal, some attributes and anything. Then, the duty of a portfolio consultant include actively monitoring the client's investments. Investment consultants or the portfolio consultants do in-depth work on formulating investment strategies for clients, helping them fulfill their needs and reach their financial goals. Then comes what they receive as a portfolio consultant. So investment consultants or the portfolio consultants receive remuneration through charging fees and or commission, and may also receive a set salary when he is appointed by a investor. So this is a concept of what is a portfolio and what is a portfolio consultant. Here I would like to focus on the types of portfolio or investment consultants. They may fall into four main categories. Number one, the registered representative. These registered representatives work for financial organizations that create, promote and sell financial instruments. They typically hold a Series 6 and 7 or Series 7 license. They are paid commission to sell investment and insurance products such as the stockbrokers and banking representatives. So who are the registered representatives? The stockbrokers and the banking representatives. What they receive? They receive commissions. Which license they hold? Series 6 and Series 7 license. And what exactly they do? They create, promote and sell financial instruments. Then the second category is financial planners. Now these financial planners are the persons who manage their clients' personal finances. They may develop a financial plan to help a client manage a part of their income or total income. The qualified financial planners hold a certified financial planner, certified public accountant or personal financial specialist certification. So who are the financial planners? They are the persons who manage the personal finances of their clients. How they are certified? They can be certified by CFP, that is Certified Financial Planner, or by CPA, that is Certified Public Accountant, or as PFS, that is Personal Financial Specialist. Then the third type is financial advisors. These investment consultants give general and personalized financial advice to their clients. They are compensated through charging fees and typically hold a Series 65 or 66 license. And the last type of portfolio consultant is money manager. So investment consultants who make investment decision on behalf of the client are called money managers. Money managers work for asset management firms, fund managers or hedge funds, which are referred to as buy-side firms. So dear learners, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it will help you to understand the concept and role of the jobbers and portfolio consultants as functionaries of stock exchanges. In the next part, we will continue to further learnings of the same unit. Thank you very much.